On Truth versus Hype tonight, we are going to go a little deeper into this entire question of the Gorakhpur and the Phulpur by-elections in Uttar Pradesh, which some say has essentially sent a signal that 2019 is wide open. Now, how exactly did the BJP lose its bastion of Yogi Adityanath? What signals does it send for future politics? Can the SP and the BSP alliance hold? We'll get into all of that in some depth with our panel that's with us. But first, let's play you a report that Nimisha put together from Gorakhpur on the factors that cost the BJP in the bastion of Yogi Adityanath.
Here, in the villages of Pipraich in Gorakhpur district, lie the clues to the BJP's shock defeat. Pipraich is one of 5 assembly segments in the Gorakhpur Lok Sabha seat. This time, the BJP candidate took a lead of 243 votes in Pipraich, far smaller than the nearly 40,000 votes lead the BJP took in the segment in 2014. These men and women, former fans of the Yogi and Modi, voted for the BJP in 2014 but have now turned their backs.
बाबा जब हमारे नैया पार में आते थे तो हम लोग उनके पीछे आगे दौड़ते थे। जब हमारे बाबा के न कोई बात होकर के हम लोग के हो जाता, उस समय हम लोग के क्योंकि बाबा पूजनी थे ना, हम लोग को जोड़ लिया, जुट गए, बाबा लात मार के मोदी खदेड़ दिए तो हम लोग क्या करें? हम लोग का जो साथ आपने साथ दिए तो आप ही साथ देंगे, जो नहीं साथ देगा उसका कैसे देंगे?
इतना रुपया आप फेंकवा दिए बाबा ने, मोदी जोगी फेंकवा दिए नोट, जो वही गरीब के 10,000 देते कि अपना टीना छा के अपना रोड पर कहीं रहो, तब कितना बढ़िया रहता। बकीर नहीं, गरीब के नहीं दिए, नोट माचिस बार के फुकवा दिए, तालाब में फेंकवा दिए लक्ष्मी माता के, बकीर कोई गरीब के सहारा नहीं दिए गोरखनाथ बाबा।
Also at work here are the social dynamics created by the new alliance between the BSP and the SP. These men and women we met are Nishads from the boatman caste, the same caste as the candidate fielded by the SP, as well as Dalits, the BSP's core base. Last time, a section of the Nishads and Dalits had voted for the BJP. Not this time, they say.
इसके पहले निषाद समाज के लोग करीब 40% मंदिर की तरफ जाते थे। इस बार ऐसा नहीं हुआ और आगे भी अब समाज जाग चुका है कि हम लोगों ने इन लोगों ने छलने का काम और ठगने का काम किया है। चाहे आरक्षण वाला मुद्दा ले लीजिए, चाहे जो भी लोग ये मैंने कोई कुछ दिया नहीं है। जो पिछली बार उन्होंने कहा कि हम
BSP workers turned out in force to convince BSP supporters to vote for the SP and made a dent in the total vote bank of the BJP.
पुरानी समस्या तो छोड़ दीजिए आप, वो तो छोड़ दीजिए, आप तो बुआ भतीजे वाली बात है कि हमारी बहन जी ने निर्देश जैसे कि आपको पेपर से या टीवी से और किसी से दी और हमको मालूम हुआ कि आप लोग सपा को वोट दीजिए। हम लोग पूर्ण बहुमत से, बसपा वाले जितने लोग थे, हम लोग पूर्ण बहुमत से सपा को वोट दिए।
Even in Gorakhpur city assembly segment, the BJP's bastion, the party's margin fell from 81,812 to 24,577, which BJP workers blame on poor voter turnout. Fascinatingly enough, the dip in total votes polled in Gorakhpur urban of 42,472 votes corresponds almost exactly to the 43,579 fewer votes the BJP got in 2018 in comparison to 2014. Clearly, BJP voters chose not to vote this time.
और हम इसको अभी निकली हुई इसलिए नहीं मानते कि जो थोड़ी सी सुस्ती रही वो वोट का परसेंटेज डाउन रहा, पर शहर के अंदर भी काफ़ी सुस्ती रही, वोट का परसेंटेज डाउन रहा।
Though the vote transfer from the BSP to the SP clearly helped, polling data reflects that BJP supporters were disillusioned by the party in power. Clearly, this loss wasn't just about the temple. In Gorakhpur, this is Nimisha Jaiswal for NDTV.
All right, let's go across to Sandeep Singh. Now, Sandeep Singh, as you were saying, by-election defeats or wins, you can try to attribute to localized factors. But it's worrying, isn't it, when you heard those voices? These are BJP supporters who voted for the party in 2014, just 1 year into the Yogi government, and they already are upset. They're angry, they feel they've been let down.
I don't think so. The first reason I believe is that we must give credit to SP, BSP for able to transfer their votes. We cannot deny that part. Second, yes, there was less voter turnout. Third, Yogi Adityanath ji himself was not a candidate. That itself was a huge factor. And the fourth, the clipping that we saw, I think that was more of a, I'll believe as that heavily tutored kind of comment that somebody talking demonetization notes were thrown out, because I come from outskirts of Gorakhpur and we didn't see any kind of unhappiness. I've been there many times, I go travel frequently, and we don't see this kind of unhappiness in people
they were
there.
tutored
Yes,
by whom?
it was poor management by the local unit, that we'll have to accept.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you say tutored, certainly no tutoring by us. These are just voices of people that a reporter interviewed.
Not at all. No, not at all. I
Right.
would have used the word media in that case. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the opposition political parties, they succeeded. That's why I ended saying the local management was wrong from the BJP side. It was not up to the mark in that case.
So, Juhi Singh, would you agree with that? That this is just a one-off? This doesn't reflect anything wider? No wider mood switch in Uttar Pradesh?
Every week the Chief Minister was in Gorakhpur, every weekend. And suddenly the BJP is coming along and saying that there are local issues, they said. So what are these local issues? Were they not being addressed? And this, let's not forget, was the seat of the Chief Minister and the Chief Minister. He had won it 5 times, and you heard from your reports that no caste configurations used to work there. The Nishads used to vote for him. All sections of the people used to vote for him. Yes, the SP and the BSP supporting, there was the Nishad party, there was Rashtriya Lok Dal, we all got together, and yes, the votes came to us, they were transferred, but also because there was a lot of dissatisfaction on the ground amongst the people. You are losing a seat of Phulpur,
Right.
you are losing a seat of the Chief Minister, and there were issues, and still no admission from any of the BJP. I mean, you can not take it as a signal that's good for us. If you don't find it important, that's good for the opposition party.
Okay, but Sachin
we
Pilot,
find it a very important signal.
But Sachin Pilot, to the earlier point as well about the Congress's ability to take a lead as a coalition builder, do you feel that sitting this election out of not being part of this coalition was a historic blunder?
Well, in hindsight, everyone is wise, but the point is that the coming together of the BSP and the SP happened a few days before the polling date. So it wasn't as if it was a grand alliance for these by-elections, because the BSP does not contest by-elections. But I think this messaging of the loss of the BJP when they have an incumbent Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister is far more significant just the 2 districts that we've seen, Phulpur and Gorakhpur. The loss in these elections, I think, is a much larger canvas that the BJP actually is losing ground, and they're ceding out votes to anybody who can take anti-BJP votes. So it's a signal that the people have sent out. Don't forget they lost 2 by-elections in Rajasthan and then 2 in Madhya Pradesh. So in the Hindi heartland, which is supposed to be their very strong base, they're losing votes very rapidly.
But
and things in the last few months have changed dramatically, leading the TDP to dump their ally.
Right, but Sachin, it may be bad news for the BJP, but it's no great hope for the Congress. I mean, you barely held on to your deposits in these 2 seats, and this is India's most politically significant state.
Look, don't forget, we only won 2 seats in the last general elections in Uttar Pradesh. So we have a long way to go in UP before we become strong and vibrant again.
Okay.
But the process is ongoing. This election, anyway, I think we were not in a really tight contest. But the anti-BJP votes, 70% of the people voted against the NDA in 2014, and that percentage is getting larger by the day.
Okay.
And that's what is a writing on the wall for all of us who are anti-BJP to see and understand.
Okay, but Vaibhav Kumar, the key question is that can this somewhat almost, it seems, untenable alliance between BSP and SP, firstly, do you think that they can pull it off in 2019? Are they going to go in together in 2019?
I think we need to see the whole alliance in the larger perspective. The way SP and BSP supporters and workers were comfortable with each other, they were holding each other's flags and they were holding each other's leaders' photographs. I think they were very, very comfortable with each other.
So you think it can happen in 2019?
It can, very much. And it's not just an anti-BJP vote. It's more against the kind of government BJP is ruling in the country and the kind
the contradictions, the history of animosity between Mayawati and the Yadavs of the Samajwadi Party,
Yes,
you're saying
that's
all
true.
that can be
That's
overcome?
true.
How, seat sharing, how is that going to work?
That
Is
can
this
work
just,
very
is
well.
this just a kind of false hope that
No,
you
it's
can come
not a
together?
false hope. I think it's not a false hope because Samajwadi Party and BSP by now have realized that past is past. It's a new beginning for them. Akhilesh Yadav now is the head of Samajwadi Party. I think they can move on from now. and this is not an anti-BJP vote per se. We should
let me just get quickly before I come to both of you. Let me just get Juhi Singh on that. We also have a ground report, by the way, on what workers in 3 districts think about this. But Juhi Singh, you think SP and BSP can come together for 2019? I mean, Akhilesh had that long meeting with Mayawati.
Because, absolutely, because the moment this alliance or this understanding was announced, the workers did not take any second thought. They just got together as if they were waiting for it. So because the workers want it, and because I think we are all responsible leaders in the Samajwadi Party and the BSP. Mayawati ji has been gracious enough in this whole by-election. So I think we'll be able to chalk out all the problems which arise due to any seat adjustment, or who is going to lead, or even evolve a common amendment program
who is going to lead?
Our workers.
Who will get most, the majority of this? How will you distribute the seats? Will it be 50-50, 60-40? Who will get more, who will get less?
I can say only one thing, that the Samajwadi Party will not stop this alliance because of that one factor as to who is going to lead. That will be a completely acceptable thing. We are not vying for it, and the seat distribution is a very, very important thing. We'll sit down with the BSP and the other parties and we'll work it out.
Okay.
That's not going to stop us. And UP is
Rashid Kidwai and Nirja Chaudhary, it almost sounds like the Samajwadi Party BSP alliance has already happened. I mean, they sound so gung-ho about it.
Yeah,
but isn't it rife with contradictions?
No, there are contradictions, but you must look at it 2014 result. It was an absolute shock for Mayawati and to a large extent to Samajwadi Party also. I think the problem is with how the Congress will get in, because if you go by the vote percentage or whatever criteria they have, the Congress will be left with 2 parliamentary seats, 3 seats maximum, with the generous offer of 5. Now a national party, I think it will be very difficult. I think Rahul was quite ill-advised when he formed alliance with the Samajwadi Party during assembly elections, and this time around when they went alone, and actually both events have boomeranged.
Nirja, you think they can pull it off?
Marta kya na karta. It's that case. They knew it's an existentialist crisis for them. 2014, then 2017 underlined that. And this bypoll has shown that their cadre, this was a test, their cadre can actually work together. Mayawati can deliver
so Mayawati can deliver the votes,
but that's the rub. The rub is whether the other side can deliver to her, and that's a cause for worry for her. But just the other thing that we need to look at the bypolls is the cracking up of the BJP's successful alliance of 2014 and 17, which was upper caste, which was a smattering of Dalits, which was the MBCs, and some OBCs.
Now
this was what Nitish Kumar had crafted in Bihar with great success. Now the MBCs have shown, Nishads have shown, they can go with the Yadavs, the Dalits are going with that group, the Muslims are going with that group, hence the nullification of 3.5 lakh votes.
Okay.